Lysandra's platinum hair stuck to her forehead as sweat beaded despite the station's failing climate control. 17 hours until the paradox engine consumed itself, and her daughter along with it. Dr. Voss, the Galactic Council demands immediate shutdown. Commander Reeves barked through the intercom. 12 species have weapons trained on us. They'll vaporize this station if we don't comply. Lysandra's fingers flew across the quantum interface, each keystroke a desperate prayer. The engine's crystalline core pulsed beneath her laboratory, its song harmonizing with her daughter's biometric readings from the medical bay. 11-year-old Zara lay unconscious, her neural pathways fused with exotic matter during the engine's first activation. A horrible accident that bound the child's consciousness to the device's quantum field. "Tell them they're already dead," Lysandra whispered, then raised her voice. "Commander, patch me through to the Council. All frequencies." The holographic display shimmered as dozens of alien faces materialized around her workstation. She recognized Ambassador Thekvar's crystalline features, Captain Zixel's writhing tentacles, and General Korax's insectoid mandibles clicking with agitation. "Terran scientist," Thekvar's voice crackled with barely contained fury. "Your abomination warps space-time across 17 sectors. Gravitational anomalies threaten trade routes. Temporal distortions age our crews decades in minutes. Cease this madness immediately." Lysandra pulled up the classified deep space scans, her heart hammering against her ribs. "Look at Sector 7G, Ambassador. Really look." The display shifted to show empty space, or what appeared empty. Enhanced sensors revealed the truth. Dark shapes consuming stars, invisible predators that devoured matter and energy, leaving nothing but void. "Magnificent Creator," Captain Zixel breathed, her tentacles recoiling. "What are those things?" "Devourers," Lysandra replied, her voice steady despite the terror clawing at her throat. "They exist between dimensions, feeding on the fundamental forces that hold reality together. My husband Marcus discovered them 18 months ago during a routine survey mission." The memory hit her like a physical blow. Marcus's final transmission, his ship dissolving into quantum foam as something impossible consumed it from within. The warning he'd died to send. "They're coming. Build something they can't eat." "The engine creates localized paradoxes," she continued, her hands dancing across controls that operated according to principles she'd invented while grieving. "Pockets of altered physics where different rules apply. It's not a weapon. It's a trap." General Korax's mandibles clicked skeptically. "You expect us to believe this device protects us?" "I expect you to survive the next 16 hours, Lysandra snapped. "The Devourers navigate by reading quantum signatures. The engine creates false signals, phantom galaxies that don't exist. It makes our reality appear uninhabitable." A new alarm shrieked through the station. The medical bay's emergency beacon, Zara's condition deteriorating as the engine's power fluctuated. "Dr. Voss?" The medical officer's voice cracked through the comm. "The quantum entanglement is increasing. Her neural patterns are synchronizing with the engine's core frequency. At this rate, complete integration occurs in 16 hours, 37 minutes, Lysandra finished, her throat constricting. "I know." The assembled council erupted in confused chatter. Ambassador Thekvar's form flickered with uncertainty. "Integration? What does this mean?" Lysandra's reflection stared back from the darkened viewport, showing a woman balanced on the knife's edge between genius and desperation. "My daughter touched the engine's core during the first activation. The exotic matter fused with her consciousness. She's becoming part of the device itself. "Then shut it down," Captain Zixel demanded. "Save the child." "I can't." The admission felt like swallowing broken glass. The engine operates through quantum consciousness interface. Zara's mind provides the processing power necessary to maintain the paradox field. Without her, the trap collapses. "And with her?" General Corax asked quietly. Lysandra's hands trembled as she pulled up the projection models. With her, the engine evolves. It becomes something that can actively hunt the Devourers, following them back through dimensional space, eliminating them at their source. But the process will... She couldn't finish, couldn't say the words that would make it real. "The process will kill her," Commander Reeves concluded grimly. "Dr. Voss, there has to be another way." 15 hours? 42 minutes, Lysandra whispered, watching the countdown that marked both salvation and heartbreak. "I've run every equation, tested every variable. The mathematics are absolute." The engine's song shifted pitch, harmonizing with something vast and alien approaching from deep space. Long-range sensors screamed warnings as reality itself began to fray at the galaxy's edge. "They're here," Lysandra announced, her voice hollow. "The Devourers have found us." Through the viewport, stars began disappearing in geometric patterns. The assembled fleet's weapons fired uselessly at targets that existed primarily in dimensions their instruments couldn't detect. Ships dissolved into quantum foam as something impossible consumed them from within. "Activating preliminary paradox field," Lysandra announced, her fingers moving across controls slick with her own tears. "All vessels, prepare for localized reality distortion." The engine's crystalline core pulsed with increasing intensity. In the medical bay, Zara's vital signs synchronized with the device's quantum rhythm. The girl's consciousness expanded, touching dimensions that human minds weren't meant to perceive. "Mommy?" Zara's voice echoed through the ship's intercom system, carried by quantum entanglement rather than electromagnetic waves. "I can see them. The hungry things. They're so... empty." "I'm here, baby," Lysandra whispered, her voice breaking. "Mommy's here." "They ate Daddy, didn't they?" The child's awareness rippled through the engine's systems, processing information at superhuman speeds. "That's why you built this. To stop them from eating everyone else." The assembled council fell silent, witnessing something beyond their comprehension. A child's consciousness expanding to encompass technologies that violated every law of physics they'd ever known. "Zara, you don't have to do this," Lysandra pleaded, even as her equations showed the inevitable outcome. "We can find another way." "No, Mommy. The numbers don't lie." The engine's song grew stronger, reality bending around the station like light around a black hole. Someone has to hold the door closed. Someone has to keep them out. The Devourers' advance slowed as paradox fields erupted around them. Caught in pockets of altered space-time, the reality-consuming entities found themselves trapped in dimensions where their fundamental nature became liability rather than advantage. "Temporary containment achieved," Lysandra announced to the stunned fleet. "The preliminary field will hold them for approximately 14 hours. After that, I become the Guardian." Zara's voice carried impossible wisdom for someone so young. "I become the lock that keeps the monsters away." Ambassador Thekvar's crystalline form trembled. "Child, the sacrifice you contemplate—" "It's not a sacrifice," Zara interrupted, her consciousness now distributed throughout the engine's quantum matrix. "It's evolution. I'm becoming something new, something that can protect everyone. Lysandra pressed her palm against the viewport, watching her daughter's biometric readings flatten as the girl's consciousness merged completely with the engine's core. The device's song reached a crescendo that vibrated through dimensions humanity had never imagined. "Paradox engine fully integrated," she whispered, her professional composure cracking. "Guardian protocol activated. Long-range dimensional barriers established." The stars stopped disappearing. The Devourer's advance halted as reality itself became hostile to their existence. Across 17 sectors, the engine's influence spread like antibodies through a healing wound. "I love you, Mommy," Zara's voice whispered through quantum foam, already growing distant as she transcended human limitations. "Tell them I kept everyone safe." Lysandra collapsed into her chair, equations still flowing across her displays. The mathematics were beautiful and terrible, showing how one small life had become the galaxy's eternal guardian. "The engine is stable," she announced to the council, her voice mechanical with grief. "The Devourers are contained. Your civilizations are safe." But the cost would haunt her for whatever years remained in a universe protected by her daughter's sacrifice. The last equation balanced perfectly. One life given to save billions. Love transformed into the fundamental force that held reality together.